Morning everyone, and welcome to Rise and Shine with Susan. And what I was guided to do this morning was to actually talk to you about manifesting. I'm sure you've heard about people manifesting and talking about manifesting your dreams and all sorts of things. And I'm not going to talk to you about manifesting $1 million, so I'm just not going to do that. But what I am going to do is actually talk to you about how you can manifest very small things. Because it's my belief that if we can manifest very small things, then we start to trust and we start to believe in ourselves. And we start to believe that we have this incredible power within us to be able to create and change anything. As you know, that's what I do. That's what I help people do, is I help them create and change anything in their life. And really that's about bringing empowerment. So if I was to say to you this morning, let's manifest £1,000, you might say to me, well, that's actually not possible in one moment. It is possible, but what we're going to do is actually do an exercise, a guided visualization I'm going to take you through that I'll be guided. I don't even know how it's going to go yet. I just trust my guidance system about what you need as an audience this morning and how it's going to help you. So I'm going to take you through a process in a moment where we're going to visualize you creating something to happen today. And I want you to comment afterwards and tell me what you saw. And also tell me later on if it actually manifested, or even just tell me tomorrow morning if it manifested. It would be really lovely to hear. So when I first started learning to create and manifest, I had to understand that the majority of my life I'd actually, good morning Laura, good morning Caroline, nice to see you. I actually had to realise that pretty much the majority of my life had been creating by default. Now, what I mean by that is everything in my life had been by default. I hadn't really even thought about it. And then when I thought back and I thought of the early days, sort of 20 years ago, I remember when I started going on my spiritual journey, and I used to hear this voice in my head. So if I'd ask for something, I would hear, "'Tis done, child." I'm like, where's that come from? And I didn't even really know. And now I understand that ask and it is given. Well, of course, we know that that's true. So why is it that sometimes when we ask, it isn't given? Well, the simple answer is that we don't believe it. So what I want to do is try and help you to create and manifest little things. So if you're ready, I'm a bit earlier this morning. I'm looking at the time. I'm a tiny bit earlier. So I'm hoping that people will be able to tune in and watch this later, because it can be for those that are abroad as well, that, you know, if it's night time for them, it doesn't really matter. So taking responsibility for your own well-being, and if you're driving in a car, please don't close your eyes, but you can still listen to the creation, and quite often you can visualize in your mind with your eyes open anyway. So I just want you to take a few breaths, put your hands on your heart, both hands on your heart, and just take a few breaths. Hi Jazz, we're just talking about manifestation this morning, so I see you've just joined, so it'll be really good for you, considering you're really good at creating and manifesting. So we're going to put our hands on our heart and just breathe. And I'm not going to close my eyes for the purpose of this video, but I normally would. So just breathe into your heart and just imagine that you could see your heart as a light inside of you. Good. And I want you to imagine that you are expanding that heart center, that light within you. And perhaps you might be able to see that as white or golden or sparkly even. And just see that heart expanding. And so that the whole of your body is glowing in that light. And imagine then that you're sitting in that bubble of light. Good. Remember to breathe and see yourself in that protective bubble of light. Brilliant. And then just imagine, as we have done for the last couple of days, that you have roots growing out of your feet and put those down into the ground. And as I said on the first or second video, if we're not grounded in the earth, then we really can't connect to our higher self and who we truly are. So just put those roots down into the earth. And for those of you just joining, I can see Jason and Heidi just joining. Morning, hi to you. We've just put ourselves in a bubble of light. So just for speed, just imagine that you're sitting in a golden bubble of light and you're connecting with your heart by putting your hands on your heart. Okay, good. And then imagine that your roots are down to the ground. We've done that. And just imagine that you could see a cord at the top of your head, so the crown of your head. And just imagine you could shoot that up into the universe, through the clouds, through the sky, through the stars, right up as high as you can go. Close your eyes if you can. Close your eyes. If it's a safe place for you to close your eyes. Brilliant. And just imagine that you're connecting with the universal energy. And perhaps all of the lifetimes you've had before and all of the experiences and all of the ancestral lineage that you've brought in with you this time. And we can call that epigenetics if we're getting scientific. So just bring that all the way down to your heart. Good. And then the bubble that you're sitting in, that bubble that we've talked about, that beautiful bubble of light that we're sitting in, just imagine that you could float up in that bubble of light. And imagine yourself floating and you feel light and you feel free. It's the lightest and freest that you've felt ever. Remember, you're still grounded, you're still connected to the earth, but you're just feeling lighter and freer. And just watch yourself as you float and feel light and free. And just notice where you're floating. And just see yourself floating higher and higher, up through all the layers of the universe. Some light, some dark. And then just imagine that you land on a plane of existence that is just pure white. You feel safe and you feel secure. And imagine you were sort of like in an elevator and you were just getting out of your elevator, your bubble of light, and you step onto this platform of pure white. Brilliant. And you see a bench in front of you. And even if you don't see it, just imagine that there's a bench there. And you feel safe and secure and very light and very free. And just imagine that you can go and sit down on that bench. And then just notice as someone is walking towards you. And even if you don't recognise them, there's a sense of you within your heart that recognises them. This could be a guide, this could be one of your angels, or it could be someone, a past loved one that you recognise that's coming to sit down with you. And just let them sit with you for a moment. Brilliant. Knowing that you're safe and secure, and that any time you can just open your eyes and you'll be back here in the place where you're sitting, in your lounge, your car, wherever you are. So just stay there for a moment and just think of something that you would love to manifest in your life. And it can be really big. This is the point where we can create anything. Brilliant. Christine's saying her granddad's with her. How lovely. And just imagine that you're telling that person what you want in your life. Be clear, be specific. Okay. And listen to the response you get from your loved one or your guide or your angel or just an energy, or maybe you're just hearing it in your mind. And that's also perfect. Good. Listen to the response and hold that and remember that in your heart. And then I want you to imagine something really, really tiny that you can manifest today. So it could be, for example, seeing a white feather. It could be anything at all. So just think of something that you know is absolutely possible to create. And just hold that in your mind. And then I want you to imagine that you could see that creation. So, for example, if it was seeing a feather, that you could actually imagine yourself in that moment, either seeing it in the sky, like I did the other day, floating in front of me, or picking it up from the floor, that you notice it, that you're actually living it, that you're creating it, and whatever it is you're choosing to create that's very small. And just see yourself and imagine that like a little tiny snapshot, like a photograph. And I want you just to imagine you could pick it from the air and pop it in your heart. And then just imagine you could see it in your heart. Good. Excellent. Then I want you to thank the person or the loved one that's with you, knowing that they're always with you, that they're always walking by your side, and you have that comfort. And then I want you to get up from the seat and walk back to your bubble of light, still feeling light, still feeling free, still feeling alive, and knowing that you have the ability to create and manifest. And sit back in that bubble and float yourself back down to the chair or the bed or wherever you are in the car. Excellent. And feel your feet, perhaps wriggle your feet a little bit and wriggle your hands so that you come back to me, and then open your eyes. How do you feel? What was it that you decided to create on a large scale? What was it that you decided to create on a very small scale? Please share with me if you want to share those things. I would love to hear. I'd also love to hear who you met. If you've got any questions about who you met on that bench, please do message me, and I might be able to help you with that understanding. How do you feel? Do you feel lighter? Do you feel freer? Do you feel that now you can start the day with that understanding that you've remembered that you can create anything? And please let me know what you find out today, whether you pick up that feather or whether it was to bump into someone or to, I don't know, whatever your manifesting was, whatever you wanted to create today. And just remember, whoever you met on that bench, you can meet them again at any time. Elaine Hartley. Hi, Elaine. You're saying that you met your dad and your dog. How beautiful. And what message did your dad give you? Or even what did your dog give you? And Jasmine, can't wait for my manifestation. Have a sparkling day. You have a sparkling day, Jazz, too. Jasmine and I live in the same area. Jenny, you're in New Zealand and it's night time. What did you like to manifest? What little thing did you choose to manifest, perhaps for tomorrow when you wake up in the morning? Caroline. Oh, Caroline, hi. Persistence from my dad on the bench, and today will add testimonial to web. Oh, bless your heart. Thanks, Caroline. Oh, Jackie, you just joined us. You'll have to listen to it again because it was visualization, creation, manifestation. So, oh, Dad said it's on its way, Elaine. Oh, how lovely. Oh, Paul, you just joined us. You have to rewind it and watch it again. And you, Neil. Oh, I can't believe you missed it. Oh, well, you can watch it again, Neil, and let me know. Maybe 9:30 is a better time for people. Maybe 9, just after 9 isn't such a good time. I could stay here for ages, but I've got to get going, and I've got to go and see a client this morning, and then I've got my lovely friend Nikki Lofting coming round this afternoon. So lots of love to you all. See you tomorrow, and please let me know what happened with your manifestation and your little manifestation, and tell me if it happened today, and just expect it. Okay, much love. Bye.